Rudy Giuliani is the former mayor of New York City, now personal attorney for President Trump. He joins us live this morning. Rudy, it's been nearly 2 weeks since the Hunter Biden allegations came out in the New York Post. Once again, Newsmax has not independently verified any of the claims in the Post or any that you yourself have made. But as you know, we are 5 days from Election Day. Is there anything new expected to come out before November 3rd?
Well, first of all, there's the job of getting the story to the American people, which maybe only half have gotten because a very unprecedented and un-American censorship has been imposed by people who think they're better than us and who support, Joe Biden, by Democrats, by the national news media, by big tech, big publishers. I mean, you're one of the outlets that acts as an American news organization.
Right.
The others act more like they're communists. I mean, they don't publish the news, and the hard drive has now been validated at least 20 times, including by the FBI, and nor have the Bidens denied any of the damning emails and texts, including the one about how Joe gets half the money, and nobody pays attention to that.
So
I mean, there's a text that says that Hunter Biden gives half the money and has for the last 30 years to Pop. That's a pretty good explanation of what happens to the bribery money. Now, I think there are going to be additional revelations. I mean, just yesterday, I found 4 hours of audio tape of Hunter Biden, which we didn't know we had. It actually, I think he thought he had erased it, but he had sent it to the cloud. So that was very, very damaging. It was Hunter in his own language, which kind of confirms the hard drive. It's Hunter Biden talking. And he explains that he's in partnership with a Chinese spy. You may have heard it. I mean, it's been played. And I certainly will give it to you if you want it. It says that he and his father are in a business with a Chinese spy. Now, what is the former vice president, the man who wants to be president, doing in a business in which he's getting $10 million a year with a Chinese spy and 2 other Chinese communists?
Yeah, I want to
Sounds like
jump
he's working for the other side.
I want to jump to another development in this story where we heard from the Biden's former business partner speaking out now, appearing to corroborate the allegations that you've uncovered from the laptop. Again, we haven't independently verified these allegations, but the name Tony Bobulinski had a very simple answer for how the Bidens would react to these allegations. Here's what he said.
I remember looking at Jim Biden and saying, how are you guys getting away with this? Like, aren't you concerned? And he looked at me and he laughed a little bit and said, plausible deniability.
Rudy, what'd you make of that response from Bobulinski and also the interview that he provided when he came forward?
Well, first of all, plausible deniability means lying. That's what it means. It means you don't tell the truth. You hide it. You hide the truth, which is what they've been doing for 30 years. And they get away with it because they have a press that sucks up to them. I mean, look, you can't get the Washington Post, the New York Times, NBC, ABC, CBS. You just keep going on and on. They haven't even covered this story, which is the best evidence that they're in bed for them. They won't even cover it and criticize it. You know why they won't cover it and criticize it? Because it's so overwhelmingly true. You can come and validate it anytime you want. I can validate it for you in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
I can show you the things. I can show you the things there that nobody would know except for Hunter Biden.
Well,
We've seen on. You took a look at the 29,000 photographs. You would figure this is nobody else but Joe Biden, except you better be ready to vomit if you want to look at the 29,000 photographs because they're disgusting and they include underage girls.
Well, we've seen Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey obviously limit the spread of this article, the New York Post article, and he was called before Congress to testify yesterday about this censorship. Here's what he said.
Do you have any information whatsoever they're not authentic or that they are Russian disinformation? Mr. Dorsey.
We don't.
You have no. So why would you censor it? Why did you prevent that from being disseminated on your platform that is supposed to be for the free expression of ideas, and particularly true ideas?
We believed it fell afoul of our hacking materials policy. We judged in the.
But what evidence did you have that it was hacked? They weren't hacked.
We judged in a moment that it looked like it was hacked materials
You were wrong.
surfacing, and we updated our policy and our enforcement within 24 hours.
So even earlier during that hearing, he said that he didn't have evidence that it was in fact Russian disinformation. And yet, as you know, the New York Post is still locked out of their Twitter account.
Sounds to me like he should be indicted for perjury, doesn't it? I mean, he said they had straightened it out. That's a straight lie. I mean, that's a complete lie. I mean, he's actually had a day to do it afterwards. I mean, I think I'd do an immediate indictment for perjury, and let the big shot be subjected to the same punishments ordinary Americans are subjected to. I believe because he thinks he's a genius left-wing billionaire, he can do anything. He runs this country. Nobody gets to suppress speech like that. Who, as Senator Cruz said, who the hell do you think he is? He thinks he's God because he's a computer genius.
Yeah, Cruz also said, who elected you? Clearly, no one had elected Jack Dorsey to the role that he plays. And yet, again, with 5 days until the election, it's so key and crucial what is and isn't allowed to be shared on social media.
Well, why
I want to
isn't he
jump
indicted
ahead
for perjury, like an ordinary American would be. We shouldn't treat these people like they have special rules for them. That's why they get like Biden. Biden did this for 30 years because they let him get away with it. He's been stealing money for 30 years.
Okay.
It's obvious.
Yeah, I want to jump ahead just so we get through all this here, because you had a heated exchange on Fox News this week. I want to play.
That you were acting like Christopher Steele, that you were abstracting information, and because
You got to be kidding me! I was acting like Christopher Steele.
that's what it sounds like when you look at the people.
You better apologize for that. I mean, I've been a United States Attorney, Associate Attorney General, Mayor of New York City, and a member of the bar for 50 years. I've never been accused of anything, and you're accusing me of being Christopher Steele?
I'm accusing you of
That's
acting in a
outrageous that you would do
capacity
that based on
similar
nothing.
to Christopher Steele, and that
Similar
you
to
were
a
going.
crook. You have no basis for that. I came on your show in good faith to give you evidence that is being withheld from the American people, and I get defamed. That's outrageous.
All right. Are you still working on behalf of the president?
I think our interview is now over.
Wow, some fireworks there. Makes you wonder, why, you keep going back on Fox News. I know you said in the clip you're trying to get this story out there, but what'd you make of that moment, that interaction?
What I made of it is that she's a very, very poor journalist. She hadn't done her homework, had a problem once with her at the beginning of her career. And I actually told her boss not to fire her when she was with MTV and doing lewd gestures in back of me. And my chief of staff got a call from her boss saying, does the mayor want us to fire her? And Tony Carbonetti, he'd be happy to corroborate this, said, no, the mayor thinks she's a young lady. Give her a chance. Just tell her to straighten out. I don't know what's wrong with her. I mean, to compare me to a criminal, I mean, I don't mind tough questions, but I don't take any crap either. I never have, even when I was mayor. You accuse me of being a criminal, you're going to have a hard time.
Hey, Rudy, do you think...
you're going to have a real hard time because I'm not, I never have been, and I put more criminals in jail and more significant ones than probably any living American. So you want to attack my reputation, you're not going to have an interview with me.
Do you think
want to
conservatives
are
going to shift to Newsmax?
Happy to explain it to you. But I'm not Christopher Steele.
Yeah.
I don't make things up. I didn't get paid $1 million by Hillary Clinton or anybody else. So you want to make that suggestion, I'm going to take your head off. Sorry.
Do you think more people will be changing channels to Newsmax?
Well, she's one. I love Fox. I mean, Fox is one of our only outlets. But I mean, what she did is disgraceful. Again, if she'd apologize, I'd accept her apology. I don't hold grudges, and maybe she can learn something from it. But the reality is you do not accuse someone of being a crook unless you have evidence of it. It's like what Dorsey did. Dorsey actually, they said it was Russian material. Somebody at Twitter lied. Now he says there was no evidence it was Russian material, and they fall back on it was hacked. Well, it wasn't hacked. But the post is still being banned. So the man's a liar. You know what would be really good for American justice? American people would applaud if today this man were indicted for perjury and arrested.
Again,
Maybe people
hearing,
would then
a
tell the
hearing. So
truth
you're
in front of
under
Congress.
oath. You're under oath in those situations, and we did
Took an oath.
hear
I'm
from.
sorry, he's not-
We heard
he's
from
not
those tech
special because
giants
he's a
yesterday.
big billionaire with a big
Yeah.
beard. Sorry.
All right,
You don't
Rudy
get to
Giuliani.
lie.
Yeah, thank you joining us live this morning. Rudy, thanks so much. Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.